So, with the official launch of ARK Genesis Ascended and Dragontopia, a lot of people have been asking the question, where on earth are the Galleon ships? Now, you probably, if you've played Atlas before, will know exactly what these look like, but if you've been seeing them in the trailer, seeing them advertised, everything like that, and you're wondering, why can't I find a Galleon in the game? I've got all the information that you guys need to know. Now, I did exactly the same. I loaded in, I went to the shipyard, and I could only see the sloop and the brigantine, and I was like, what on earth is going on? And Studio Wildcard gave us the information of what's going on, and I also have some other information, which was what used to happen in Atlas, which is probably going to happen in this new patch when this launches. So we'll go through all of this. If you do enjoy today's video, feel free to drop a like, subscribe, it really supports me. If you want to come and join us over in the LoadedCrysis cluster for free Genesis servers, well, when I say free Genesis servers, it's literally a full cluster full of free servers, so come and join us. You can swap between, make whatever map your home, and come and have some fun. So link to our Discord is down below to that. So we're going to be diving in what's going on with Galleons, then what most likely is happening with them, which is going to be much more expensive when it comes to actually needing to use resources to craft one of these ships. So, Studio Wildcard put out a post when the update dropped saying what's new with this update. ARK Tide to Fortune Galleon. The Galleon will not be available at the launch, as many of you would have found out now, and is currently planned for a release in August. As our largest ship to date, we're taking a little extra time to refine it further and make sure it's ready for a smooth release across all platforms. Alongside the Galleon, we'll also be introducing new technical systems that will increase the number of player-built structures that can be placed on ships by up to 4 times depending on the ship class. This will allow for even larger and more elaborate ship builds once the Galleon is ready to leave the port. Now, I'm actually going to show you guys what the Galleon used to look like and how pretty much the ships, they obviously have had a TLC since they were in Atlas, but they're still very similar when it comes to the design, and there's another reason why most likely the Galleon isn't ready to leave the port. For me, should they have had this ready? 100%. I find it crazy how it's been 7 months since the last DLC, which was Lost Colony, and in that time they haven't managed to get the Galleon ready, which they literally have promoted for ages. But we're going to dive into what's going to be really cool about the Galleon. So this is the Galleon that was in Atlas, and obviously there is a photo, but we're going to be looking at the old version in the trailer to show you guys and give you a bit of an expectation of what it looked like. But this is what it was in the Galleon screenshot. It is a lot bigger than the brigantine, and when you actually scroll up here, you can see the Galleon is the largest of buildable ships in Atlas. Once you have built a large shipyard, you will have the option to build the framework for the Galleon. And if we come over here, this is the large shipyard. Now it says the large shipyard is used for crafting the brigantine and the Galleon. Now, the brigantine you can do in the standard shipyard, and it's making me wonder now as if you need to actually be able to have a large shipyard to be able to build this in ARK Survival Ascended, because by the looks of things it's probably going to be far more technical, and I'm wondering if you're going to have to switch between a standard shipyard and then a large shipyard if you want to progress to the next stage, which gives you a Galleon, and that's what I think Studio Wildcard are holding out for. As they mentioned, they said that they're gonna want you to be able to build up to quadruple the amount that you can on a brigantine. So at a standard shipyard, I can't even see a Galleon being able to fit in this size of thing. So when this update does drop in August, it's planned to drop in August. Remember that, currently planned, then I do expect to potentially see a large shipyard added in with this update. We're now actually going to jump in and look at the best look at the Galleon that we can do right now, and it should be quite fun to see what to expect when it launches for ARK. Okay, here we are, the Atlas exclusive reveal trailer, which actually shows you a lot of the stuff that we've actually got in. So in the background, you can actually see, I think, is this one a Galleon? I think this one's a Galleon, right? Yes. So this one here is a Galleon, and you can see the absolutely huge look at this thing. I mean, when you compare this, I mean, the Brigantine's big, right? But look how many sails this thing's got. This is what pretty much what you will be getting when the Galleon launches within Ascended. Hydra, because all of this already in ARK, as you guys know, throughout Astraeus. Lots of treasure maps, all of that kind of stuff. I mean, this is kind of what we're used to at the moment, right? That looks like it's a Galleon for sure. Look at the size of that one there. And of course, you know that we've been raiding those fortresses in Ascended. So in a way, it's extremely similar to what they've done with Atlas, in the sense of, with Dragantopia that's coming, they've given us Dragantopia earlier, so we have the dragons that are actually within the ships. Now, I would love that to be more of the case within Genesis with the new dragons with Dragantopia, but I'm sure that a lot of these ships are going to be able to be used a lot more within the future ASA DLCs. There's definitely going to be certain maps which in the future they won't be able to be on, because one, there's just not going to be enough water, and two, they probably would block up a lot of the water if it was on, like, let's say some of the smaller maps. But in terms of the Galleon, if we go back to this photo, I think it looks absolutely beautiful. I really look forward to when Studio Wildcard officially release this update, and finally we start to finish off more stuff and more content for the game, because I think for me personally, and I know a lot of you guys, Genesis Ascended Part 1, the other biomes are cool. I think the bog biome is really awesome, but the ocean biome feels unfinished. It kind of feels a bit like, on top of the waves, it looks awesome, and that looks finished. I definitely think so. But in terms of, like, you know, obviously the under the ocean and some other things, it kind of gives a couple of unfinished vibes about it. And it is, if you think about it, it is unfinished, because there is content that they said is coming, such as the Galleon, which isn't there yet. So I think we're going to see a lot of major Genesis Ascended Ocean biome updates to come over the next couple of weeks. And I'd say even the next couple of months, because moving forward, we've got like Astraeus Mega update coming out. We've got some other creatures and stuff, fantastic tames. But I do think they're probably going to be dedicating a lot of their time to getting this sorted, because the next proper DLC we know that is coming is Dragantopia, which isn't till December. We've got Survival of the Fittest, which is meant to be coming out soon, but that's being worked on by Studio Sirens. So in terms of actual content, I think this kind of feels like they're doing a bit of an Astraeus work in progress DLC, and hopefully we'll start to see more get even added to Tides of Fortune. That would be awesome if that ends up being the case. Like, we want a bit more, like, you know, a bit more of this around the map. You know, the ocean needs to feel a little bit more alive, like the Atlas Ocean looks like in a lot of things. So anyway, guys, that is going to be the video. I hope you did enjoy it. Let me know your thoughts on the Galleon update. If you're enjoying the Ascended DLC right now, how's your Brigantine coming along? And I'll catch you in the next one.